Hi, beautiful people. Thank you for coming back to my channel. My name is Pure Noble, an old soul living in a young person's body. I've created this safe space on YouTube where we're going to talk about all things growth, healing, love, creativity, and just getting back to the best version of you, like I've done. And I'm still working towards. So don't think I'm all the way there yet. I'm just helping you with what I've learned along the way. And I'm going to keep learning along the way and keep sharing with you. So, let's get into this episode. All right. So, my first video, I told you my life story. My second video, which was last week, I just talked about, being the oldest girl and how I felt since releasing my video and how I let other people dictate how I was going to show up in my life. Today, we're going to talk about relationships and the mirrors that they hold up to us because a lot of the times we feel like we're attracting like these negative people. But then when you really take a step back and look at what the negative thing the person is doing, 9 times out of 10, you realize, oh, wait, I've done that before. So that's what we're going to talk about today. You ready? All right, let's go. Darling, I almost forgot tea time. What are you sipping on today? Today I have a rose tea. It's just straight up roses, and they are pink roses. And this is for self love. And I added some light brown sugar and a little bit of honey, darling. So, what are you having in the comments? Okay, so like I was saying, we have mirrors in relationships, and these mirrors can reflect our light side, my light side being like my love, my kindness, my generosity, my funny side. you know, my shadow side being like, the fear of abandonment, fear of being alone, um, not feeling like I'm worth enough, things like that. And I realized, like, whoa, somewhere along the way, I'm like, it's not that I'm attracting these people that are so different than me. There has to be something inside of me that is attracting these people because in life, things are patterns. I'm a person, I really like to pay attention to patterns. And there's an orange butterfly. Yeah, yeah. Butterfly in the sky. Oh, it's so beautiful. Okay, focus. So over here, like focus, boom, and got straight back into it. Okay, so what was I saying? Mm, what was I saying? Oh, at some point along the journey, I realized it's not that like I'm only attracting these like negative people. There's something inside of me that is attracting this. Example, I would be like in relationships and I'm like, dang, why do they keep talking over me when we're talking? And then I realize, oh, wait, I do that. And it's not because I don't value what the person is saying. It's like I grew up in a household where everybody talked over each other. It was like survival of the loudest, like who can talk over each other and be heard. And so I realized that I was taking that into my relationships and doing it, but then getting upset when people did it to me. Where'd I do that at? Another example would be, dating guys who had wandering eyes, and would look at other women or text other women. And then I realized that, oh, wait, I'm doing that in relationships too, because I'm feeling like I'm unworthy of like being loved or like not one person can like fulfill all of my needs. So I'm going and like flirting, with other people and getting upset when the person I'm in a relationship doing that, and it's like, okay, clearly neither one of us has enough like self-love to be honest about what it is that we're wanting, because clearly something inside us felt like we needed to go seek something outside of the person we decided to commit to. So let's be honest about that and let's talk about that, and maybe let's realize we don't need to be in a relationship, but instead, I stayed in relationships like that, you know. Now that ain't happening because we can just be honest, but that's where I was, or like when I was in high school, my boyfriend, would go be with the other girl, and I would go and talk to other guys at school or go, have sex with other guys at school, because I'm trying to like prove a point, but it's like revenge is not going to get you what you want, babe. You're just doing the same exact thing. Mirrors. Another example would be like, there would be times when I would make plans with friends and they, would ditch me for other friends or just, not say anything at all. And then I realized I've done that at times too, Maybe I was feeling a little down or, anxious or a little depressy. And I didn't communicate, So now in my life, you know, I just look at, okay, what is this relationship showing me about myself? You know, Even in, I'm living in a hostel right now. And in this hostel situation, I'm just like, wow, I'm seeing all the people that are here in this home. And I'm like, wow, we all have something in common. It may not be everything, but we all have at least one thing in common. And there's something inside of every one of these people here in this hostel, everybody that I've met here in LA, that mirrors something that I do. Whether it's someone who likes to sit outside in the grass like I do, or someone who is funny like I am, or someone who might have a temper, and I'm realizing, ooh, that's reflecting to me when I had a temper in the past. And now I'm able to just give people grace. Even in my, day-to-day life, I realized that the people who didn't really communicate properly showed me where I was lacking facing the truth, because there are parts of me that don't communicate properly out of fear of being judged. Or the people who loved me showed me that there's love that already exists in me. So I want us to think about our relationships, and instead of, thinking, oh, this person is doing this and pointing a finger at someone, remember when you're pointing a finger, you got three pointing back. And it's not to, attack anyone or anything. It's just to bring awareness and to evolve and realize that we are all way more alike than we realize. Now it's up to you to decide what kind of relationships you want to have in your life. Now when mirrors come up for me, relationships, I'm realizing, okay, what does this person show me about me? Are they reflecting the good qualities about me, the light qualities about me, or are they reflecting the shadow sides of me? And if it's reflecting the light sides, great, amazing, love it. If it's reflecting the shadow side, still great, amazing, love it. But now I'm going to take a look and say, there's something that I still need to work on because I'm attracting someone that is like this, you know? And I just kindly will remove myself, not because I think there's anything wrong with that person. It's just I want to make sure that I'm involving myself with the energy of love. The more that you pour into yourself and you give yourself that love, the more that love is going to be reflected back to you. So I want us to all keep that in mind. There's always going to be things that come up, and people are always going to reflect something inside of us. So think about it. If I'm receiving this love, then that must mean that I'm giving love out. If I'm receiving this judgment, then maybe I'm giving some judgment out. In life, there's like universal laws, you know, and what's that law where what goes out comes in? The universal law of the word is left my brain at the moment. But you know what I'm trying to say. What you give out, you give. It's like a cycle. So I want us to think about that, not hold judgment, just bring awareness to it and move with the alignment that works best for you. If you want to continue aligning with your shadow side, do it, babe. If you want to keep aligning with your light side, do it, babe. Whatever feels best for you. But I'm operating in my light side. That doesn't mean I ignore my shadow. I pay attention to her for sure, but I don't operate in her, if that makes sense. All right, beautiful people. So today in my life, when relationships come, instead of focusing so much on the other person, I observe and I look at what is this showing me about me. I feel like that is the most important question. When we focus on self, we're able to truly, truly, truly see ourselves in other people. And when we see ourselves in other people, we don't judge people so much. We give them grace and love. And when you start to give others that love and that grace, then you're able to give it to yourself. That's how we see the relationships as mirrors, okay? So, beautiful people, I want you to think about that. And I want you to give yourself a little bit of love and look yourself in the mirror, okay? I love you so much, beautiful people. Thank you for being here. If you got all the way to the end of this message, give me a blue butterfly in the comments and go on and have an amazing day. Be the best version of yourself. I love you so much, beautiful people, and I'll see you back next week at the same time. Hi, beautiful people. I forgot to mention that I am hosting my very first ever free masterclass. It's going to be about getting back to self. Now that I've shared my life story with you, I want to help you get back to that inner child, get back to that joy inside of your life. Okay. So if you have some free time this Saturday, November 1st, come on over to Zoom and join my live free masterclass. The link is going to be in my bio. You can click my link tree and that will take you to the Google Doc that you can fill out, and I'll get you an email sent over with the information you need for the Zoom. Let's get that joy back, you all. The world needs you, who God created you to be, okay? We need to get that light out of you. I love you so much. And I'll see you over at my masterclass this Saturday, November 1st. Hey, beautiful people. So I already have the video recorded, but it's not really long enough. And I feel like it's not long enough because my mind has been kind of like not scattered, but it's been like in a deep reflection mode because I am truly like stepping into my full authentic power. And it's scary if I'm being honest, Um, I did this video today on, mirrors and relationships because I promised it last week. But if I'm being honest, I kind of just want to like talk about my feelings. Is that okay if we do video diaries? Like, I'm still going to give you the video. I'm going to put it at the end of this. Or maybe I'll put this at the end, you know. But yeah, I just feel like I wasn't able to really like go as deep as I wanted to today because my mind has just been on so many other things. Like I started my coaching, well, I started my master class, and then I'm gonna announce, the coaching after that. And I guess the master class is me doing coaching. See, it's like I'm even getting comfortable with the fact that hey, I am a coach. I've been coaching since I was a kid, been telling people what to do, and it makes sense what I be telling people to do. So. But it's like I'm really stepping into my true authentic power. And it's so freaking scary because it's like now, like that old version of me, like she is fighting to stay. And it's like, baby girl, you gotta go. Deuces. Um, Peace, love you, mean it, but you have no purpose here anymore. The only purpose that my old self, you know, the only purpose my old self has being here is just for like reflection and to show the growth. But I've noticed like she's been trying to come up in like interactions, whether it be like me going, to the bus stop and giving someone a compliment and they don't say nothing. And I'm like, "Oh, well, they're rude." But they didn't even hear me because my friend told them what I said. And they were like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." And I was like, "Oh, wow, like they didn't hear me. Okay, so it was just me." Or I get on the bus and I ask the bus driver, "Can I get a courtesy ride?" And she shakes her head no. And I'm like, "Why she shake her head no?" And my friend was like, "No, she said I don't care." And I was like, "Oh, so it's me. I'm taking things personally." And I know that that is the old me trying to creep back in. And so my mind has just been like, because it's like, girl, you are not that person anymore. And it's okay. You got to let her go. And I love her so much. And I'm grateful for her. And I'm really proud of the woman that I am and the woman that I'm becoming. So I just thought that I would get that out and, be vulnerable with you all because I truly don't feel like the video of mirrors is my best quality, but there is some gems in there. But I just wanted to kind of like let you know where I was with that. I'm still gonna put the video out though because today is Wednesday, and I like to do the videos on Wednesday because Wednesday is the day of communication, because it's ruled by Mercury. But I started recording like later in the day because it was freaking hot today in LA. It was 90 degrees, and I was out here earlier about to have pass out from a heat stroke. So I went inside and like cooled down and came out and did it like when the sun kind of like passed the home or whatever. So at this point, it's like the video is just what it is. But I kind of want to just tell you why I feel like, and maybe you don't think there's anything wrong with the video. Maybe it's me just being a harsh critic to myself. I have heard that I tend to do that. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to let you in on where I am. I feel like, I'm figuring out the flow of my YouTube as I go. I know that I want to help people and share my story and my life. But I'm getting the structure down. So maybe it'll be like this every week where I give the lesson, or we have tea time, I give the lesson, and then I just vent at the end, because I want you all to know like where I'm at. And I want to know where you're at as well. I want this to truly be a safe space in a community where people feel like they can come in the comments and I reply to them. Or if I can't get back to them, someone else in the comments can get back to them. You know, I've seen so many other beautiful spaces like that on YouTube, and I'm a part of other spaces like that on YouTube, where people comment back and I comment back at times. And so I really am intentionally doing that here on this platform. So, that's what we're gonna do. We're figuring out as we go. Last week we decided we're doing tea time. This week we're decided we're gonna do a vent session at the end of each video. So here it is. I love you so much. Thank you for being here and listening. And like I said a little earlier, if you made it to the end, give me a blue butterfly. I love you so much. And I'll see you next time on Pure Noble Therapy.